So you've been seeing some numbers around, huh? 1111, 444, 222, 144. Those are the ones that I see a lot, and I still do. I've been going through some interesting changes lately, and they're good. They're good. But it was kind of weird how the cycle shifted, how that happened. But I was seeing 555 around, and lots of interesting inconveniences took place. And it wasn't Mercury retrograde either, just like all this stuff went wrong. And I kept seeing 555 around, and now I know why. It was like an interesting shift. It was kind of like a death of an old age took place or something in my life. So that was an interesting one with 555. But what does this mean, and what should you do if you're seeing these number signs around? Well, we're going to talk about that. So let's talk first about what the numbers are, who likely is going to be seeing them. Now, at the time of the making of this video, primarily my audience is going to be somebody who met their twin flame. Now, lately I've been putting out a lot more law of attraction content, and it seems like I'm starting to attract a broader audience where it's people who just want to learn about the law of attraction. So I want to just briefly address the twin flame people about this. The numbers are not only for twin flames. That is not something that just only happens, oh, I'm a twin flame, so I'm special. Well, that's an interesting thing that happens, and it happened to me. It's pretty earth-shattering, and yeah, you're going to see those numbers, but guys, it happens to a lot of people. And it's going to be happening to anybody who is a spiritually minded person, somebody who is connected to the all, to source. You're going to be seeing those numbers around in anybody's spiritual awakening when they're going through that very drastic ego death, dark night of the soul experience. You're going to be seeing those numbers around, and it doesn't matter if you met your twin flame or not. So it's not exclusively twin flames, guys. And it's real. Oh man, it's all the time, you guys. And this last summer, I was getting a bunch of 777s. That was a new one. I'd never seen 777 around that much. It was a lot. And there were like precursors to the changes that took place in my life when I was seeing those numbers. 777 too. I was getting a lot of interesting downloads and more information about like my purpose in life and what God wants me to do. The things that I'm to be teaching to you and saying to you, it was a pretty loud message from God Almighty, when I was seeing 777 around. But typically people, I noticed they're going to be seeing 1111, 444, 144, 1234, or like repeating number patterns, right? So like 1717 or 2323 or 1212 or something like that. And sometimes 333. Now you can get really analytical about the specific meaning of each individual number. What I tell people is, yeah, you can do that, but here's where it gets difficult. When you're getting hit with lots of different numbers all at once. So for example, if you're seeing 1111 and 444, you could look at those two and see if there's a message for those two together. If you're getting 1111, 444, 144, 333, and 222 all at the same time, don't try to figure it out. It's not going to, you can't really distill like a clear message from that. And when that is happening, all that you're being told is it's like your consciousness is like really explosive. It's like, think of, I don't know, what's a good analogy? You're standing under the Liberty Bell or something, like a huge bell, and it's a massive bell around you. You're standing inside of it, and you yell. You might hear like a woo, like a slight, very slight vibration off of the bell, right? So imagine you're standing in this huge bell, right? So you'll get that, like a slight little reverberation off of it if you yell. And then you listen to what the bell does in response to it. That'd be like getting 1111. Now, if you're getting like 3, 4, 5, 6 different repeating number patterns all at once, well, that's if you took a hammer and smacked the bell. It's going to be pretty loud. So think of the higher quantity of different numbers happening all at once kind of thing as you really smacked the universe really hard with a hammer, so to speak. You're not trying to harm anything, and you're not. You're just, it's a vibration. Think of this mechanically. Try not to think too much about the meaning of the numbers. That's what I'm trying to show you. Is usually you can derive a little bit, you can glean a little bit of meaning from the numbers sometimes, when there's maybe 1 or 2 consistent number patterns. But if you're getting 3 or more repeating number patterns, just let go of any meaning. That's not really going to help you. Look at the mechanism. Look at this function. You are just exciting the universe like the bell. It's just lots of energy that's being reflected back to you. Just look at it mechanically that way. So you're kind of at that time like at a maximum of output. You're an extremely powerful creator. Extremely powerful time for you. Also, these can be on a time delay, because you know how things take time to show up in your 3D physical reality. So you could be talking, if you see certain events taking place in your 3D physical situation, it's a 3D physical manifestation of past energy too. So you can take some of that into account too, like how were you feeling about things and about yourself, say a month ago or a week ago even, if you're seeing these numbers today, right? Like where was I at energetically, emotionally even a week, 2 weeks, or a month ago, right? And so this is why these 5 tips that I'm about to give you are so critical. They're so helpful. So here's number 1. So when you start seeing these numbers, it's because you're at the top or the bottom of a cycle. You're at the top or the bottom of a cycle, right? So you need to kind of like reset yourself. If you start seeing these numbers around, you need to get back on track. You need to put your manifestation blinders back on, all right? And I'm going to give you some simple things. So number 1, you need to have very clear goals. Be specific. Don't write like a 15-paragraph thing. You might start with that, but try to distill it down to 1 paragraph, like 2 sentences. Just really, really clear. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what I want and what that's going to look like. Very, very clear goals. Okay, number 2, update your vision board. And this could be a notebook. It could be an actual vision board. It could be something you wrote down on a piece of paper. I wrote out this clever thing that I call the Constitution of the United States of Kurt's Consciousness, right? So I live in the United States, and our founding document in this country is called the Constitution of the United States of America. And I was thinking about like how you can have different states of consciousness. And I just kind of made a funny ha-ha, like a play on words, right? It's the United States of Kurt's consciousness, right? The Constitution It's what constitutes the United States of consciousness, bringing them all together, right? Anyway, that was my funny joke. But that's kind of my version of a vision board. But you could have an actual vision board. And the vision board, it's not what causes manifestation, guys. There's people that really get into that stuff, like the little kind of gimmicky techniques, and they think that's what makes the law of attraction work. It's not. The last two things in this list of 5, that's going to be what makes the law of attraction work. But these first 3 are critical, because if you're not clear about your goals and what they look like and the actions that you need to take, which is the next one we're going to talk about, all the believing in gratitude, it's not going to help you. You need to do all the things, guys. Remember, your body, mind, soul. So you need to approach manifesting holistically, okay? Energetically, physically, and spiritually. Okay, number 3 is kind of some of the 3D physical things that you could be doing. Have you been dormant? Maybe you need to reach out to some old people that you've been thinking about lately. Maybe you need to put yourself out there, so to speak, in public places. Maybe you need to join a club or a hobby, you know, like, what do you like to do, right? Like, I just started fitness training, so I'm going to go to the gym and strike up a conversation with somebody. Or maybe you like to cook, so you're going to take a cooking class. Or you like to knit or sew or whatever, just whatever you like to do. Maybe you like to smoke cigars and drink brandy. I don't know, whatever it is, whatever you like to do, guys. You know, pick something, get out there, and you don't have to do it a bunch. Just do something. Just do more than 0. Or reach out to an old friend or somebody that has crossed your mind. It doesn't necessarily mean, here's the thing, and I want to be clear about this, about doing these things. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to keep doing that. You might try like a hobby out, like I just suggested, and decide you don't really like it, but that's not the point. It's to make contact with the outside world. If you're, again, these last 2 things we're going to talk about are more of the energetic work, but if you sit on the sofa all day at your house and you're doing all the energetic work in the world, is anything going to happen in your 3D physical world? No, you got to talk to people. And it could even be, again, if you reach out to somebody that you haven't talked to for a long time, it could just be something that they say that triggers some thought or something in you. Or they give you some sign, they say or do something, and you're like, what did you just say? You know, like that. Something like that could happen, or it could be rekindling an old friendship. I don't know. You might just talk to them for a while and get what you need from them, and then you don't need to talk to them anymore. I don't know, guys. I'm just telling you to put yourself out there and send a message to somebody. Go out and do things also. Okay, number 4, increase your daily spiritual practices. And there's another video on this channel that I highly recommend called Raise Your Vibration. Go watch that video. It's called Raise Your Vibration. And the picture, the thumbnail, right? The picture, the thumbnail is a picture of yours truly. And I'm going, yeah, in the picture like that, right? Like, yeah, right? And it's called Raise Your Vibration. So go find that video, carry out those steps. And then another thing, meditation. Meditate, meditate, meditate. Guys, you have to awaken spiritually every day. You have to commit to that. Even in my Manifest Your Dream Life online video coaching program, I really hit that one home, guys. And if you want to sign up, it's not expensive. It's very affordable. It's only a couple of $100. I even have payment plans. I'll take the total price and break it up into 6 payments. You can get started for like 40 or 50 bucks approximately. It's 26 hours of instructional videos. I give you everything that I got, guys, in that video course, and then you get to talk to us when you're done with the videos. There's group coaching calls. There's a Facebook group, just like the other coaching system that I have, and multiple coaches. There's hundreds of people that have already signed up. Sign up today, guys. It's the best there is on the market. And it's not a lot of money. Okay, so that's a big one, guys. Your daily spiritual practice. Go watch that other video. And, you know, your meditation practices, slowing down, connecting to source. Raw consciousness is the manifestation force. It is that which causes 3D physical reality to form, to coalesce. Consciousness. You must do this. Okay, number 5, gratitude. Daily gratitude for what you have, even if it's a simple thing. Guys, if you express as much gratitude as you can, God is going to give you more reasons to be grateful. Write that down. If you express as much gratitude as you can, God is going to give you more and more reasons to be grateful, even if it's simple stuff, even if it's little stuff. Yeah, but Kurt, I'm broke, and I've got all these problems, and I've got this thing going on, and I got my family, and a blah, blah, blah. Right, if you stay focused on all that stuff, you're going to get more of that stuff, guys. You got to shut that down. Focus on gratitude as much as you can. Cultivate an emotional experience of gratitude, guys. So there you go. This is all about the numbers and signs, guys. Why they're happening, what they are, how to kind of maybe understand why you're seeing those things, and what you can do when you see them. Again, you're either at the top or the bottom of a cycle. So ride it out, guys. Milk it. Ride that wave. When those cycles change like that, you have to recheck and rebalance your spiritual practices and your manifestation practices too. At those times, I hope you guys found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.